So retrieve your exterior zipper pocket facing, and on the back we're going to draw our zipper pocket window, which is the same as that there, the size 20 centimetre by 7 7/8 of an inch long by 1 centimetre 3/8 of an inch wide. So I'm just going to press a crease in the centre of my facing like so, and the halfway mark like so. Now I'm just going to do that, draw my center line. Once you've drawn your box, just draw some little V's at the end, just as a guide to where you're going to cut. Don't have to be exact measurement or anything. So that is going to get attached to your exterior. But before we do that, what I like to do is cut this window open and cut it out, so it helps to place my facing better. More accurately. Now you can just choose which side of your tote you want your pocket on, the left or the right. I like to put mine on the left and carry my tote on the right, over my right shoulder or in my right hand. But this is just personal preference. It's hard to do things when you're trying to keep your head out of the video. Yeah, like that. So just grab one of my body panel pieces, the exterior one, and if you have a difference, it'll be the front one. So what I like to do is just put a couple of clips to hold that still. Like that. And then to get the accurate placing, that this has got to be right side down onto the right side of your panel. So I'm just going to line that up and put a pin in it. Make sure that's lining up there. Put a pin in there. And then I'm just going to remove my pattern piece. Like so. That will give me accurate placement of my zipper facing piece. I'm going to pin this on properly. Don't need those ones in the middle now because I'm going to stitch there. And now we're going to go over to the sewing machine and stitch all the way around our zipper pocket window. Now I might just mention here, if you don't like to have a bit of colour showing at your window and you want it more matchy, you could make this facing out of exterior fabric to match, so you don't get a little coloured strip around the edge of your window. That's just personal preference. Some people like the pop of colour and some people don't, so just whatever you prefer. Okay, so now we're going to stitch around our pocket window, and I'm going to use a stitch length of 2.4. Now sometimes when you're stitching on soft and stable, your machine might make tiny stitches shorter than the length that you've set, so if that's the case, just increase the stitch length a little bit to 2.6. And there we have our stitched pocket window. So now we'll go back over to the ironing board. Okay, so now we need to just trim off our threads. Just take out these pins. Now we need to snip open this area here, so I need a stitch rip to make a hole. Get started like that. I'm just going to cut down the center and snip into our V corners like so, as close as you can get to your stitches without actually cutting your stitches. Now if you accidentally do cut your stitches, just pop back to the sewing machine and re-stitch the area where you've cut your stitches. It all happens to the best of us sometimes. Like that. Now what you need to do is flap it over. We're just going to trim away the excess soft and stable, making sure you're only trimming the soft and stable away and not your fabric. This just makes the zipper opening a bit less bulky for a nicer finish. The duckbill scissors, that's these things here, make the job just a little bit easier. But if you don't have duckbill scissors, any pointy scissors will do the job too. Okay, so once you've done that, next thing to do is feed our fabric through, but I just like to give it a bit of a press first. I'll turn my steam off so I don't steam the camera. Now I'll just thread that through. give it a press. Now if you find you're getting too much bunching of your fabrics in the corners, you can just turn it back through and snip it in a little bit further, and that will help. Now here on this side, you might want to leave a little bit to pop of colour or fold more under. Whichever way you like it is how you do it. There's no right or wrong when it comes to bag making. It's all about making it how you like it. And I think that's one of the best things about making your own bags. Because all of us are different. Now once I've done that, I like to stick a couple of pins because it tends to always roll. So I'm just going to put a couple of pins towards the outer edge of where I've got my facing there. Like so, just to hold it. I don't pin close here because we're going to be putting our zipper there and we don't want to interfere with the zipper. Oops, I pinned it to my ironing board. So once you've got that pinned, we need to get our zipper prepared, ready to attach to the back. So I'm using the continuous length zipper and I'm just going to cut that now to the same length as my facing. And just make sure that your zipper pull is within that piece that you're going to cut, because you don't want to cut that off. Like so. Now I'll just put this aside. And what we're going to do is pop over to the sewing machine and just run a couple of stitches down each end to make sure that our zipper pull doesn't get pulled off by mistake, and it'll keep that end nice and aligned for when we attach it to our pocket. So now we're just going to run a few stitches back and forwards across our teeth to hold it in place. Sometimes it's easier to do that on the wrong side, so I'm just going to flip that over. And I'm stitching about 6 millimeters, 1/4 of an inch from the edge, from the end. Go backwards and forwards over a few times to hold it in place. And I'm just going to do the same on the other side, just so that it stops any chance of me pulling my zipper pull off by mistake somewhere along the line. Like that.